Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. In today's video we'll be using craft foam, PVC and texture spray to make old steam pipes. To get started, we're going to make some fake bolt heads. I had this silicone mold from another project, but I'm out of resin, so for this project I'm going to use hot glue. Once the glue gun is hot, I'm going to fill the mold with glue and allow it to set. It's a great option if you only need to make a few pieces, and can be easily modified so that they don't all look exactly the same. With all our parts, we're ready to make our fake pipe. Looks like we jumped over a step. Let's go back a bit. That's better. Once the foam and bolts are attached, I used some spray-on wall texture to give the flat surfaces a bit of interest. Once I'm happy with the coverage, I allowed it to dry based on the manufacturer's directions. Now let's get back to the tutorial. With our textured pipe completely dry, I'm going to lay down some black acrylic paint. This paint in particular is good for EVA foam and other flexible surfaces. After the paint is dried, I'm going to seal it with some Mod Podge Ultra. This is a good all-around sealer, and because it's a spray, you don't get any brush strokes in your finish. We'll give this a minute to dry before we move on to our next step, dry brushing and rust. I'm going to pour out a bright metallic, as well as an orange and brown acrylic. The metallic paint will be dry brushed over the surface to help pick up all of the texture we applied, and the orange and brown will be used for rust. I like to start with the bolt heads, since we want to highlight the details to help it look more realistic before moving on to any hard edges. You'll want to start light and work up to your final finish. We're looking for just a hint of the brighter metallic paint. Too much and it will start to look artificial. The last step is to add in a bit of faded rust stains. I'm going to use a mix of the orange, brown, and metallic paints to dab into the cracks and joints where I think rust would form. Start with more brown than orange to lay down your base rust color paint, before adding in more orange to highlight it. I also like to use a wet sponge to help break up the color a bit and blend it together. You can also blend some of the metallic color into the orange to give it a bit more variation. If you wanted to add more grunge to the piece, you could use the coffee grounds technique from our metal paint tutorial. Like I've mentioned in other videos, there's no real recipe on how to apply these colors for the best look, but it's always important to consider the environment where the piece will be seen, how it's lit, and how close people will get to it when making decisions about paint. Once you're happy with the look, allow it to dry and you're done. This technique can be used on a variety of props or set pieces, anything from metal asylum doors and window frames to iron barrel straps and chains, so get creative. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you want to see more tutorials, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to the next time I put out a video. Until next time, happy haunting.